December 10th, 2022. Ronaldo is walking down a tunnel in Qatar, alone. Most of his teammates stayed on the pitch. The Moroccan players are celebrating behind him, cameras everywhere, and he just keeps walking, head down, one hand over his face. A Moroccan defender tries to put an arm around him. Ronaldo shrugs him off gently, keeps going, and then, once he thinks the cameras can't see him anymore, he pinches the bridge of his nose, and the tears come. I watched that live, and I genuinely didn't know how to feel, because this is Cristiano Ronaldo, the man who has broken every record football has, who has won more than almost any player who ever lived, who built himself from nothing into something that doesn't feel real. And there he was, looking like the one thing he'd been chasing his whole career had finally slipped away for good. Most people assumed that was the last image of Ronaldo at a World Cup. They were wrong. Welcome back to Elite's Power. Before we talk about the tears, we need to talk about where the dream started, because to understand what this World Cup means to Ronaldo, you have to go back to the beginning. Not the trophies, not the Ballon d'Or. Before all of that, 18 years old, Madeira kid, skinny, raw, terrifyingly talented, wearing the number 17 shirt because Luis Figo, his hero, has the 7. Germany, Portugal's golden generation, Figo, Deco, Pauleta, and this teenager who nobody outside Portugal quite knew yet, running at defenders with this energy that you just couldn't look away from. They finished 4th, lost the semi-final to France. Ronaldo cried after that one too. But something about that tournament, the atmosphere, the scale, the feeling of 1 billion people watching, I think it got into his blood in a way nothing else did. He said years later, the World Cup is the competition that every footballer dreams of winning. Club trophies are special, but this is different. This is the whole world. The whole world. That's the thing about the World Cup that club football can never replicate. The Champions League is the best club competition on earth, but the World Cup? That's the one that defines legacies. Ronaldo knew it at 18, and for the next 20 years, that dream never left him. So let's go through it, because I think people forget how many times this man came close and walked away with nothing. South Africa, he's the captain now. He's wearing the 7. Portugal are built around him entirely. They go out in the round of 16 to Spain, a team that will go on to win that World Cup. Ronaldo barely gets a chance, barely touches the ball in that knockout game. Afterwards, he says he felt an unimaginable sadness. From a 25-year-old who 2 years earlier had been the best player on the planet, winning the Champions League, the Premier League, and the Ballon d'Or all in the same season. Brazil. This one is just painful to watch back. He's carrying a knee injury the whole tournament. Portugal get humiliated. Germany beat them 4-0 in the group stage. They go home. Ronaldo scores 1 goal. 1. He's walking around the pitch in that tournament, barely able to run properly, and the whole world is criticizing him. Russia. This is where it gets interesting, because 2018 actually gave us the greatest individual World Cup performance from any player in the modern era, and it still wasn't enough. First game, Portugal versus Spain. He scores in the 4th minute from the penalty spot. Spain equalize. He scores again before halftime. De Gea fumbles it in. Spain fight back. They go 3-2 up. 88th minute. Game looks gone. Ronaldo steps up to a free kick. 25 yards out. De Gea, arguably the best goalkeeper alive at the time, sets his wall, and Ronaldo curls it into the top corner. Unreachable. Hat trick against Spain in a World Cup. At 33 years old, the whole world genuinely lost its mind that night, and for a few weeks, it felt like maybe, finally, this was Ronaldo's tournament. Then, Uruguay knocked them out 2-1 in the round of 16. Ronaldo has one shot. It hits the post. 5 World Cups, 8 goals, records, history, no trophy. Every 4 years, football invited Ronaldo to chase the same dream, and every 4 years, it disappeared at the last moment. And then came Qatar, which wasn't just a failure. It was something worse than failure. It was public humiliation. Fernando Santos, Portugal's manager, decided to bench Ronaldo for the round of 16 knockout game against Switzerland, not for disciplinary reasons, just because he thought Portugal were better without him. And then Goncalo Ramos, a 21-year-old who barely anyone knew, came on and scored a hat-trick. Portugal won 6-1. The narrative that was already building exploded. Portugal don't need Ronaldo anymore. He's done. He's a passenger. They're better without him. Santos kept him on the bench for the quarter-final against Morocco too. Ronaldo came on in the 51st minute. Portugal were already 1-0 down. He had one chance. Bruno saved it comfortably. 10 touches in 40 minutes. That was it. Full-time whistle. Morocco win. Portugal are out. And then that tunnel. What really gets me about that moment is the detail nobody really talks about. Ronaldo walks down that tunnel, and he genuinely believes nobody is watching. The cameras are mostly on the pitch. The Moroccan players are celebrating. His teammates are still out there. He thinks he's alone. And that's when it happens. That pinch of the nose. The tears that he'd been holding back for 90 minutes. They come out all at once. That's not performance. That's not the calculated Ronaldo who controls every image. That's a 37-year-old man who has given everything to win the one thing he couldn't get. For the first time in his career, Cristiano Ronaldo looked powerless, and the whole world decided that's the end. That's how the story finishes. Most players would have retired after that moment, and honestly, nobody would have blamed them. Ronaldo started preparing for another World Cup. Right. So this is the part where the Ronaldo doubters just refuse to learn their lesson. Again, he goes to Saudi Arabia, Al Nassr, and the jokes, I'm not going to pretend they weren't everywhere, because they were. He chose money. He's retired, but with a bigger salary. He's finished. All of it. While people were making those jokes, he scored 50 goals in his first Saudi season. 50. But more importantly, he never stopped showing up for Portugal. 41 appearances for Portugal since Qatar. He didn't retire from international football when literally everyone expected him to. He kept going, kept performing, kept being the captain. And then, June 2025, Portugal win the UEFA Nations League. Ronaldo lifts a trophy with his country. You can see in the footage exactly what it means to him. He's not celebrating like it's just another trophy. He's celebrating like someone who needed to prove something. The football world laughed when Ronaldo went to Saudi Arabia. Then, he did what he has always done his entire career. He proved them wrong. But 3 weeks after that Nations League final, something happened that changed this story completely. Diogo Jota died, 28 years old, Liverpool forward, one of Portugal's most important players. A car accident in Spain on July 3rd, 2025. He was with his brother Andre. Neither of them survived. Jota had just gotten married weeks before. 3 young children. A World Cup squad place that was essentially guaranteed. Ronaldo posted on Instagram, "It doesn't make sense. We were just together in the national team, and you had just gotten married." He said on Piers Morgan, "I didn't believe it when they sent me the message. I cried a lot. It was very, very difficult. For everyone, for the country, very, very sad." When Roberto Martinez announced Portugal's World Cup squad, he didn't call it a squad of 26 or 27. He called it 27+1. The +1 is Jota, always Jota. Martinez said these words at the announcement, and I want you to hear them properly. Losing Diogo was an unforgettable and incredibly painful moment. But the very next day, it was up to all of us to fight for Diogo's dream. So when Ronaldo walks out at this World Cup, it's not just his dream he's carrying anymore. It's the dream of a 28-year-old who never got there. Here's what makes 2026 genuinely different from every other World Cup Ronaldo has been to. For years, Portugal depended on Ronaldo. Everything went through him. The whole game plan was built around giving him the ball and hoping he did something special. When it worked, it was beautiful. When it didn't, they had nothing else. Now the dynamic has completely flipped. Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, Bernardo Silva, Vitinha, Nuno Mendes, Joao Neves, who at 20 years old is already one of the most complete midfielders in Europe. This Portugal team doesn't need Ronaldo to carry them. They're capable of winning matches without him being the best player on the pitch. And weirdly, that's the best situation Ronaldo has ever been in at a World Cup, because now he can be used perfectly. The big moments, the pressure situations, the player who steps up when it actually counts. Not someone forced to do everything because there's no one else, but someone who does the specific things that nobody else can. He's still the captain, still the leader, still the man the whole country looks at when it matters. And at 41 years old, which by the way, no outfield player in the history of football has performed at this level at this age, it genuinely just doesn't happen. He's going to be at a 6th World Cup. 6. Only Messi matches it among outfield players. His own words at the Tourist Summit in Riyadh earlier this year. Definitely yes, this will be the last. Let's enjoy the moment and live the moment. Live the moment from a man who has been chasing this exact moment for 20 years. Portugal's group is DR Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia. They should progress. And then the draw opens up. A realistic path to a semi-final, maybe a final. And look, I'll say the thing everyone is thinking, but nobody wants to jinx. Messi is also at this World Cup. Argentina, the defending champion, both of them, 6 World Cups each, sharing the stage one last time. The greatest rivalry in football history, on the biggest stage football has for the final time. I don't even want to think about what that would look like. So here's the question the whole video has been building to. Can Ronaldo score? Can Portugal win the group? But what if football finally gives Ronaldo the ending it never has? Think about what that would look like. Final whistle of a World Cup final. Portugal win. Ronaldo, at 41 years old, lifting the only trophy that's been missing from his cabinet his entire career. The captain's armband. The goal. 20 years of heartbreak. 5 tunnels, 5 exits, all of it ending right there. None of it has happened yet. That's the point. That's why the story matters right now. Because when Ronaldo walks out at that tournament, knowing it's the last time, he won't just be carrying his own dream. He'll be carrying Joda's. He'll be carrying a nation that has waited his entire career for this. He'll be carrying that image from the Qatar tunnel that the whole world saw and assumed was the ending. Martinez said it best, fight for Diogo's dream. Ronaldo is 41. He shouldn't physically be here, but he is. He's been written off more times than I can count, and every single time he came back. Maybe he wins it. Maybe Portugal go out in the quarters again? Football doesn't care about narratives. We know that much. But here's what I keep coming back to. Writing off Cristiano Ronaldo has always been a mistake. Always. And when he walks onto that World Cup pitch in 2026, for the last time, he won't just be chasing a trophy, he'll be chasing the ending football has denied him for 20 years. If history has taught us one thing, it's that you don't bet against this man. Not yet. That's the story. I want to know what you lot genuinely think. Drop it in the comments. Does Ronaldo deserve this World Cup? Can Portugal actually go all the way? And if there's a Ronaldo versus Messi final, who are you backing? Because I have a very strong opinion on that. If you're new here, like the video. Share it with someone who needs to see it before Portugal's first game. See you in the next one. Peace.